um, parcels. Like maybe it's easier just to like give you, like I'll put, some of them are just going to be like a field full of eggs, and so it's nothing complicated. But I don't know if it'd be easier for people just to give you the land rights and let you, put the egg on if that's better, or um, yeah, because it's going to be a busy week. But we still have time. We have time after fashion
Yep,
week.
yep. I know Lastrum's been around whenever I've had questions or needed it, and I will be around, and we will do our damnedest to make sure anybody who wants to be a part of it is able to. And like I said initially, I wanted it to be as simple as possible for anybody who doesn't have the building experience, so they can use their land to be a part of it. Whether that involves just putting an egg on your parcel, nothing else, that's perfectly fine. And I also wanted it to be something that those of you who have brilliant ideas and love to get really creative can expand on it and make it what you would like it to be, whether that's easy, medium, difficult, making a challenge to get close enough to obtain the egg or anything. So, morning, Lastrom. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I wanted to just jump up here for two things. Um, One, the quest system's awesome, super cool. One, you need to, on the quest, the test quest, you need to change the start type from explicit to be first task so that people can test and see if their their task is working. Because right now, the way the quest system is set up, as a creator, you can choose to say, start the quest on a certain action, like you have to go to a starting point and do something or talk to an NPC, and then you can run the quest. Or there's an option that the quest just starts with the first task. So KJ is testing and Billy's testing too, but they can't actually complete their task because they haven't started the quest. Does that make sense?
Just changed it and just changing the testing one now, and I will also change the
Cool. I see.
official one.
All right, I see it updated. But don't enable the official one. The
No, no, no. I have not. I
Okay,
have
good.
not.
Well, okay, so that's updated now. So KJ, if you're listening, you should be able to now go and test your scene, and it should start the quest and then complete your task for you. Um, the second thing is, I kind of want to push back on Canessa a little bit. I I think it's a disservice to not try to build something. I know you were saying, cheekily, like you're going to be the last kid in the room and when everyone's got to finish and ask what's going on. I would sort of challenge you to actually use the in-world builder or the creator hub to build a scene of eggs versus just giving land to somebody else to do it. I think there's one way to participate and there's another way to just kind of be lazy, like no offense. uh,
No offense either, but I sent one exist chords to all my land. I'm talking about my single parcels. I'm building two scenes for this
I
that are
understand.
interactive and
Yeah,
animated.
but
So
you could
no, I'm
drop an
talking
egg.
about
You could drop
the
an egg.
rest of the scenes, the single parcels that I have all over Decentraland. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm
she's
not
she's got
lazy on this
two.
one.
She's got
But
two big
thanks.
projects she's working on. So
I know. It takes about 7 minutes, if that, to use the in-world builder and create a one parcel scene and add a trigger and an action for the quest. Um, so I would just say I would challenge you to get more comfortable creating if you want to use those lands, and have some spare time. I think it's a challenge to push everybody to get outside their comfort zone and spend an extra 10 minutes that you might not think you have to. It's easy. Drop an egg and add I mean, you could probably do this in 3 minutes and then deploy right from in-world builder or the creator hub. The creator hub probably has a couple more steps involved with the code since it's not integrated like in-world builder. But yeah, I mean, I have how many parcels and eggs are, and they're all going to have um, eggs everywhere. So I would just challenge you to try and see what it's like to create a single parcels, many single parcels in in-world builder and add an egg and you can easily deploy to it. That's all.
Yeah, thank you. I'm building 24 parcels with much more complicated components. I was just talking about the single parcels of land just to get more land, being utilized. But so I hope building on 24 parcels doesn't seem lazy because that's the best I can do.
Yeah, no, I think between you and old guy, we'll have a good chunk spread throughout DCL. So appreciate that a lot.
For sure. And I'm just seeing Make's comments down in the space, like welcome Make. So good to see you. Hugh Pow, Gino, welcome, old guy, Mary Shark, Jim Cedric. Who else is here that we haven't said hi to? I think that's the whole crew. Thank you for being here. And if you'd like to join in on the conversation, you're more than welcome to, or even uh, come up if you have any questions about the Easter egg hunt and would like to participate.
I think I'm gonna drop down, but the last thing I'll still listen if anybody needs anything. The last thing I was gonna say is, let's choose a date this upcoming week, and I will be available to show people how to do it. And then World Builder and the Creator Hub. Old guy has made some really good videos and put them in the CBD Discord and on Twitter. So again, it takes about 3 minutes to create a scene and add an egg or an object to uh, link to the quest system in In-World Builder. But I will be available this week. So let's choose a time this week if everyone's available or anyone. And I'll be live streaming so that we can get more participants involved across the the whole Decentraland Genesis City. Again, it doesn't take that long to set up, so it'd be really cool to have a lot. I know Angzar is going to have about 10 to 20 sprinkled throughout, and there's free land there as well too, so other people could use, not just their land. So that's all.
Yeah, you can. He has a reservation system set up there over in Angzar that you can. He's got what 2x2s and 3x3s that you can choose from. There's a 14-day maximum. So in order for it to have it for Easter, I think it's the 9th is when it started. Is because of that I'm gonna try to set up the starting point on one of those there as well. So any other questions you guys can think of? Oh my
Yes.
God, Ritz! I saw Ritz. It's Risk. The fireworks thing looked pretty damn cool.
Did you? Yeah. Did you get to see it yet?
No, is it
Oh
still up?
no, I don't know.
It's
I don't.
still up?
I
Ah.
can't say. I know nothing. But wow, can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. Like really, really cool. Like beyond cool. But I don't know. I don't know where.
I remember when Wilderness had fireworks for the first time. Everybody thought that was cool. So this looks even bit better.
Yep, I think it'll be fun when we get to see the final project. But it's their project, so we'll see when they invite us to the party. We don't want to crash the party beforehand. So one exists if people still want to get involved. Where how do they reach out to you? I know we've got the channel and CBD if people want to. Is it too late to get involved? I'm just thinking if anybody's in the crowd thinking they might want to or anything like that.
As long as I don't get overwhelmed with a whole ton of people, should be okay. Um, and you can DM me on Twitter if you need an egg from me. Though we'll have to connect, I guess, somehow on Discord, whether that's through the CBD or direct messagings in the back end. Because of course I'll have to be able to send a file. Because the only other way I would know of would be email, and most people probably would like prefer to keep it at the Discord level because you can't send something like that on Twitter. And I guess if Elon wants it to be as big or as good as he wants it to be, he's going to have to make that and something that's possible on X.
Do you think Elon ever just like jumps into CBD spaces as like an incognito account, listens
No,
to it? No,
no,
I'm sorry.
no.
Just
I don't think so.
first my I just like I'm not even gonna give you hope of like
No,
letting that
we're not
idea
that.
hit you.
We're not that special. But I mean, like a few, what was it, 2 months ago? Donald Trump did, what did he do? He bought like the copyright or the IP to create his own metaverse, the Trump metaverse. So if you're looking at as far as like digital worlds go and how people like to own the narrative, on the spectrum of like centralization, like the Trump metaverse would probably be on like the far other end from a decentralized virtual world. So in that regard, like if virtual worlds continue to gain use, like I don't know, we are definitely the on the right side of the spectrum for like owning your own data, owning your own information. I mean, as much as we can be, we're still, you know, we still got a long ways to go.
Here I would have thought he would have joined us on Decentraland. I mean, we have orange grass, he's orange, like I see a lot of similarities here that could be strengths. Like
This is Trump we're talking about. You know, he's got to have his own thing. It's got to be all about Trump.
oh, but let me orange. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But it doesn't have his name on it.
Well, he is here. Like there's a scene that's been here for a very very long time with him on it, and then you can like donate. It's got like a wallet address attached to it. Um, yeah.
Is
So I
that is,
accidentally, long story, but I accidentally sent it a bunch of wearables years ago. Like probably now like they might be worth nah, they might be worth like 2 mana.
is that frightening statue that's down by the soccer memorial?
Yeah, yeah. There's a few of
Uh,
them. There's a few of them.
uh,
Yeah, no, I thought it was somebody. I was exploring with somebody, and they like shared their address, and I realized like we'd clicked on this one, and then instead of giving the wearables to that person, I sent it to the Trump statue. So, whoops.
Whoopsies. Like isn't it sometimes crazy how like just forgetting a negative like a negative symbol on a coordinate will take you somewhere completely different, and you're just like what the fuck is this? Like I've jumped into some weird parcels. I think even including that around that Trump parcel that you're talking about. Like I like landed and I like looked in the distance and was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it would be cool to have archive of parcels that like. There's been some weird ones totally jumped in throughout the years. Like I jumped into one that was a memorial for somebody's little girl. Like it was really sad, but they had memorialized her forever. She must have passed away at like 6 years old.
Oh
But
my
that was years ago. I've never seen it again. But yeah, I have a picture. I have a picture of it. I think I saved just so I would remember the spot, but I don't know if I got the cords on it. So just crazy things like that. That Usually I can find a parcel again, but sometimes you're like, where was that one? Like, what was I? Like, late at night, like running around and you just discover crazy stuff.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
But I've
god.
never seen it again. It was like below Fashion Plaza, kind of on the west side of the map. And that was like 2022, I think. So it's been a while.
Hmm. I it you know kind of like uh stuff like this makes me kind of wish we had some sort of like squatter, like some sort of ability to squat on people's lands. Like for example, uh fuck, this is an idea that just popped up, and I might just do it in like 80 years. Like memorializing yourself, or like let's say memorializing the Mew, and you just like deploy a giant cat statue on a big piece of land, and then like, you know, since you're gone, none of that is gonna ever change again unless like, people come through and make the park kind of like their own.
So in that way, does Decentraland have a life expectancy? Because let's just say like let's just let's just ignore the fact that like we're just trying to survive like the next 5 years. Let's say in 100 years, we're all gonna be dead. Just had to double check. Um, the only ones that will have parcels that are usable are the ones of us that leave good enough instructions for somebody else to like take the land and get ownership of it. So in some ways, like this whole experiment, you know,
Well,
it'll
not
just
if
continue to like land will continue to be lost.
I was talking with Mohidi about this yesterday, actually, because like we were just talking about like lost wallets and stuff. And I mean, like this is a thing that can be planned for, and like the tech can be updated. Like Yamel spent days and thousands of words like writing out a pitch for like updated so that we could like return provably lost land to owners who could like prove that it was theirs and they lost access to the wallet or for whatever reason. But like all the like the decentralized maxis were like, well, if we support this, then you could take our land away. And like, we're just totally like selfish dicks with like no vision for why having some kind of plan and, technology that makes it possible to like reclaim unused lost lands or the in dead person's land. Like, it just makes sense because like you said, if we don't create this tech and have a plan for this eventuality, then yeah, the Decentraland's just gonna, in 100 years time, it will just be an empty vacant wasteland no matter what happens. Like, best case scenarios will still end with it being a vacant wasteland as opposed to being the foundation the metaverse of the future is built on.
So then are we sacrificing the very like foundation that this is like immutable, um blockchain can't be messed with? Like, are we sacrificing that to stay alive? I mean, these are problems we don't have to fix. Our kids will fix them and they're gonna be like, fuck that, I'm gonna do Roblox, mom. Your world is still just not as cool as Roblox, but
Well, I don't strictly think that like if you plan for it and like decide upon it in like the using VP voting on these systems, like I don't think it can necessarily undermines either decentralization or the immutability of the blockchain if there, because like you can have on the blockchain it is like clearly noted the rules and the way we've come to these decisions and like why it's necessary. Like I don't think you are inherently undermining the foundational philosophies of Decentraland by you know incorporating solutions to these problems. But I do understand why some people do think that, but I think that perhaps they're just, being a little stubborn or inflexible and, letting their fear of like the worst case uses of like, well, once we give you an inch to like make sure stolen and lost land is given back, you'll then become fascist pigs who, decimate you know, our estates. Seems like, it's a very big jump, and I think it's not necessarily like an honest argument for like the against these solutions.
I see a future where the Decentraland assets or the Decentraland could could be placed on a trust, a family trust for the next generation.
I mean, I think it already, is for some people. Like making sure, just conversation I had this week, it definitely makes sure your loved ones, or you don't even have to love them, but the people that you're giving the land to, in case you pass away, have access to it. So, I think, these are. Uh, I would love to have these problems. I think our problems are a little closer to home, but these are great problems. Like, what are we got to watch out for the welfare of Decentraland in 100 years. Like,
I
forget
will,
global warming.
Well,
I will give St. Jude's Children's Hospital instructions on how to get into my land shortly.
to be fair, I don't necessarily think these problems are like, I think these are more like 10-year, like 5-year problems even,
To
or
be
like maybe even
fair,
less. To be fair, I get my friends say that. I say to be
to
fair
be
too much.
fair,
I know this because my friends quote that Canadian TV show at me every time I say it. But I feel like, because like I don't think anyone's ever done a proper diagnostic to really try to make an estimate of how many of like Decentraland's parcels are just, sitting in forgotten wallets, or, like were minted by somebody during the minting, and then between, 2017 and then the opening in 2020, completely forgot they had anything to do with it and like just gave up blocking. Like we really have no idea how much of Decentraland is just currently already abandoned, and like it could very well be something worth like finding solutions to. I mean, none of the solutions are perfect or great because like obviously, yeah, like maybe someone did mint land at the land auction and they're fully aware of it and they're just like, yeah, like I'll just get to it in like a 10 years. It'll either be something or not. So like we definitely don't want a solution that prevents that, makes it so that person shows up and we've district X'd them. Like I don't want to be the person that pitches the solution that just becomes District X Build My Land 2.0. So it's like it is tough, but I don't know. I think the problem is more immediate than necessarily 100 years when we're all dead.
May
I think. Go ahead, Sam.
I was gonna say maybe going back to the squatting, maybe a time limit. Like if you don't log in or do anything with your land for 2 years, squatters can start populating. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean
And
like
I was going to say, like, you can see the land, like what has been deployed recently. If you go to, what is it, Genesis City? I don't think it's Atlas Core, but Genesis City.io. You can look by like recent deployments, and it'll show you deployments within the last, I want to say, like 3 months. So, I mean, even just that snapshot of being able to look at when people last deployed, I think that tells you like they could do that. I mean, you can look right at a parcel and see if it's ever been deployed, but looking at like, I'm sure AI could help us with like that versus wallet activity from that wallet. Like, has the wallet been active in any other, crypto transactions, or is it like this wallet hasn't done anything for 5 years, and there's a strong chance it's just dead in the water because people didn't. I mean, just speaking from myself, like I sent a parcel of land to a Binance ETH wallet because it was the first time I interacted with an NFT. Like I didn't know. I just, and I was excited and like woo. So there's also just that learning curve of like that. A lot of people were just new to the entire space back then and maybe didn't handle their assets the way that they do today.
have you ever tried to reach out to Binance to get them to send you your parcel back? Because I feel like there must be someone there who could figure that out for you. But brutal.
No, I mean, it's also like when Binance turned over to Binance US, I'm a US customer. And so then like we were supposed to get all of our assets off to Binance US. So I think it would be against terms of service now even to like interact with me. So I might have to hit up one of my Canadian friends and be like, "Here, you are now Canessa." But I haven't. I haven't. Yeah.
That Binance US shift also fucked me, Canessa. I uh
I know it's triggering for you.
yeah, like
So,
at this point, the amount of Bitcoin that was left on that Binance account is equaling thousands of dollars. Um, be, be, well, not even left, like lost in the ether, because I remember I had been given, or they set up a Binance US account for me. They gave me the wallet address. So then I went into the old one, the one that was about to turn international, I guess, and then I transferred it over to my U.S. wallet, and it just never appeared, just never got there. And then my U.S. wallet kept saying that like there were errors, and yeah, I don't know.
Maybe there's like one permission button you gotta hit, and then that one little button. I've done that before where I go back and I'm like, oh, I've been bridging money for like 3 months. Like, I just needed to push this button, and then we computer money. But hopefully, I don't know.
I'm gonna lose service on my drive home, but when I come back, I want to pitch this idea about people, us combining together to make like a giant village with our adjacent land. So I'll see you guys in like 20 minutes.
Drive safe.
You've been leaking our conversations to Jared.
Never.
She hasn't. I thought of this last night and I pitched it to Rustan since he's my neighbor with my 3x3. And then and I feel like there's a lot of people.
Oh, did we lose him?
Bye, Jared. We'll see you soon.
I think we lost.
We'll see you soon, Jared.
You guys want your coffee news real quick?
I do for my coffee news. But here, let me whip out my coffee for this.
Do you have your coffee?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Got a latte. Just
All right,
for this.
Can you go ahead, read the coffee news, please? He's coming, thinking.
All right, here we go. Brew and Tell, roasting beans and people with zero fucks given. Coffee news number one. The Trump administration's new tariffs are hitting the coffee world where it hurts. Imports from Brazil and Colombia now face a 10% tax, and Vietnam's Robusta beans got slapped with a 46% tariff. That means your daily brew might start costing more than your overpriced oat milk smoothie. So yeah, coffee inflation is very real, and your wallet might need a support group. Coffee news number two. Turns out that sad cup of break room coffee might actually be breaking you. A new study says office coffee machines often skip the paper filters, which means they're pumping out compounds that can mess with your cholesterol. No, seriously, your job's not just bad for your mental health, it's now trying to take out your arteries too. Time to BYOB, bring your own beans.
BYOB, bring your own beans.
Yep.
Lol.
He's got more, but for some reason he stopped. Yeah, I know, right? I didn't even listen to this before. Hey, you can you finish up? You were just finishing with the break room coffee. ChatGPT's gotten.
Yep, picking up right where we left off. So yeah, your break room brew might be less perk me up and more clog me up. If your office doesn't filter its coffee, maybe it's time to filter yourself. Right out the door to the nearest cafe with a cardiologist on speed dial. Let me know if you want the gossip and brew of the week.
Yes.
Read out too.
No, tell him we want to cite his sources.
No.
I mean, is it peer reviewed? I want to know before we start throwing around fear mongering around coffee beans. Where's his data?
Fair question. Let's not go full panic over the break room brew without receipts, right? That study came from people.com, which let's be honest, isn't exactly the New England Journal of Medicine. It was summarizing research on unfiltered coffee and LDL cholesterol, which is a thing that's been observed in real peer-reviewed studies, mostly around boiled coffee or French press methods. But unless your office machine is brewing like a Viking cauldron, we might not need to sound the cholesterol alarms just yet. So no, not fear-mongering, just aggressively caffeinated side-eye.
Okay. I'm not sure if like citing people.com would fly in a official health document, but
Well, that's what he said. But good call, good catch.
Oh, definitely not. Filing this under legit science, people.com ranks somewhere between your cousin's Facebook post and a mug that says world's best doctor. That said, The original research they reference likely comes from studies on cafestol, a compound found in coffee that raises LDL cholesterol, particularly when brewed without a paper filter. Those peer-reviewed studies
Okay.
exist, published in journals like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and the New England Journal of Medicine. So yeah, the science is real. People.com just dressed it up in clickbait and tossed in a Keurig for drama. If you want the actual studies, I can dig up the real citations. Want the hard data?
No. Just
Yes.
you want that?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Good.
We want it.
Give us the
Yeah.
hard
No.
data
No.
then.
No. But okay. How can a paper filter? What does the paper filter do? Is it filter out
Yes,
the?
classic caffeine spiral. No, but yes, but actually,
Sorry,
given
he
how much
doesn't
paper-
wait.
I got you. So here's the short version of the hard data. The compound we're talking about is cafestol. It's found in coffee oils. And when you brew coffee without a paper filter, like in a French press, espresso machine, or
Nice
some
French press.
drip systems, it passes through into your cup. Now, actual science. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2001, found that cafestol raises LDL cholesterol levels significantly when consumed regularly. In contrast, brewing methods that use paper filters, like your classic drip machine, trap most of the cafestol, making the coffee less likely to mess with your cholesterol. So the science says, yes, how your coffee is brewed affects what's in it. And no, this doesn't mean one cappuccino will clog your arteries. But if your office is cranking out unfiltered sludge day after day, maybe keep your statin prescription handy. Want me to give you the exact study citations or keep it digestibly nerdy like this?
No, just we're good.
That's good.
Some things are worth dying for.
But you have something about Machine Gun Kelly and the Brew of the Week? And that'll finish it.
Exactly. Some risks are worth it. Unfiltered coffee, extra cheese, emotionally unavailable baristas, we all make our choices. Now, on to the rest. Spill of the week. Machine Gun Kelly's coffee shop is petty with a lime wedge. MGK's Cafe in Cleveland, 27 Club Coffee, just dropped a drink called the Child Actor Margarita. And yes, it's widely seen as a jab at Brian Austin Green, Megan Fox's ex, and allegedly MGK's least favorite footnote. The drink is described as having a childish twist, which is either brilliant shade or the weirdest way to flavor a cocktail. Either way, the tea is hot, and apparently so is the margarita. Brew of the week, Melbourne's Coffee Gems. If you want a coffee scene that treats espresso like religion, Melbourne's your holy land. Patricia Coffee Brewers keeps it minimal but mighty. Market Lane leans green with classes and sustainability baked in. And Seven Seeds is where academia meets AeroPress. Basically, if you don't feel underdressed for your flat white, you're not doing it right. Want me to read that out loud too? Or save it for the final recap roast?
No, you just did. You can give the final sign off.
Perfect. Let's shut this one down with style. Remember, life's too short for bad coffee. So skip the weak stuff, stir the drama, and keep your grind messy and loud. Until next time, sip fast, spill faster.
And that was your coffee news of the week.
Thank you. Thank you. I guess I'll just be like supplementing my diet with like olive oil to like negate the effects of the lipids in coffee.
And I
But
French press. So there is
I
that.
used I used to, but now I need coffee faster. I need more coffee
How
faster.
do you get it faster than French press is pretty quick to me.
I know. My mom got me a K cup thing, which I know is
Oh,
like
one of
pretty
those
much
things. Oh, yeah,
probably
yeah. I mean,
like drip microplastics into me, but I don't. I've lived a good life. Like I don't care. I need coffee faster. So I'm actually yeah. I hate it, but well.
there's always, you can always go with the date pits and strawberry rubbish coffee that has no coffee beans from last week's news story.
You know,
Or
I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. Like if coffee is the worst thing I'm putting in my body, like plastic K cup coffee, that's we're good. Like I can live with that level of risk.
yeah, I'm not about to go down the date pit and strawberry rubbish road either.
I'm sipping my coffee with 10% more appreciation today.
And I do want to shout out Sandbox DAO. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Got to talk to Sebastian 2 months ago, and I threw out the offer. If you guys ever want to come up and chit chat, feel free. Good to connect. Yeah. Anyway, hi. I'm waving. I don't know why I'm waving. Like physically, I'm physically waving. Like I know I'm waving, but I don't know why I'm like physically waving through the
Don't let
Twitters.
her hear you. She's waiting in Decentraland too. Uh, yeah, I mean, besides Sandbox popping in, we also do have Scat Lion, and we have, oh, did they pop out? Because I just saw, we have Cheddar Queso in the house, Kunta, and yeah, the invite is extended to all of you as well. If you'd like to come up and chat, you're more than welcome to.
And
These are weekly Decentraland X Spaces. We pop in here, talk all things Decentraland, and actually even a lot of things that are not Decentraland related too. So yeah, we're an open book here. Sorry, this. I think I cut you off. Go
no,
ahead.
that's quite all right. I just wanted to make sure. I just saw check. Uh, Cheddar Queso has a giveaway going on, so
Oh yeah, let's pin that at the top.
I'll have my assistant pin it at the top.
You have an assistant?
Wait, you don't have an assistant?
No.
What happened to Aisha?
I had to get rid of her. People thought she was real. People thought I was talking to my intern, like really rude, and not realizing I'm like cause role playing, talking to myself, and like go get my coffee, and they just thought, geez, Canessa has a intern and she's really rude. But um, yeah,
They gotta learn the right way, like the
nah.
industry.
So Cheddar made some amazing 3D prints. It is pinned up here at the top above us. And if anybody would like some, she's still got some extra. They're really awesome. And she's also got some other cool ones that have an NFC chip in them that you can scan and go right to your Hyperfi world or the Beast. What does the Beast one go to? I think you can program it, right, Cheddar? But really, really, really cool. I'm like treasuring mine, trying to decide where to link them to. But yeah, hit her up. Get your name in the drawing. I think she's giving out 10.
One of these days I should give Cheddar some money and then she can make some muse.
and as she does state, if you are a winner, it will require an address for her to ship it to you. So
So not my land coordinates.
no, that's those go to me. Land coordinates go to me.
Wouldn't it be cool if you had a Shopify sort of setup where you could, in a confidential way, put your IRL address into a, I don't know, like a bridge, I guess, and then have your land cords there, so somebody could just send the data to your land cords. I guess the third party processor would convert that to your real address, and then we could confidentially send stuff to each other, like Shopify, like how I bought your hoodie Mew and I got it in the mail, but you never knew my address. Like that would be really cool to have in Web3. But then I don't know who I would trust with all that data, because then it'd be like an executive order in here. Now we need all of your. Now we got all your information.
I feel like something like that is like it could be possible to do, but it would have to live on some sort of company's server, entity's server, or like, you know, you would have to do it on your own server, because I would think like data needs to be stored somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's best we just keep it to Shopify. But like, because I was thinking about that, like an Etsy shop would be so cool to have for like handmade goods, but even Etsy, it doesn't, if I sent stuff out, it would have, your place of origin on it. Which is funny because like I used to have an Etsy store, never cared about confidentiality, but now in Web3, it's like who do I think I am? That like I'm a government like spy? Like nobody really cares that much, but it is just good to have like levels of confidentiality. But it would be really cool to have more like IRL merch stores. Mew, you should do that. Turn your Shopify store into a Decentraland store to prove a use case.
I mean, why do you think I'm buying up so much roadside land?
I guess you're gonna make a mall, not a store. You're gonna
Well,
have like, are you gonna have like Claire's in there and like Zoomies and Spencer Gifts and like Bath and Body Works and
well,
Orange Julius?
I mean, the big parcel near the cantina will be for some sort of experience that we could all like place together. But what I feel like would be the best thing to put on for like kind of like a community experience, if we ever choose on one, it would be like kind of like one of those open like Florida malls and stuff like that. You know how like not a closed mall, but it's like open. And like instead of like, well, we can have some stores from like different friends and stuff, but also like maybe even different venues, uh, or like yeah, venues for like different creators and musicians, whoever really would like to be. But yes, there would be one Mew shop there, located there.
Cool. Well, I think, and we have a good start on this west side of the map. Definitely, there's a parcel of land if anybody wants to join the West Coast family. I think it's right, if it's still there, it's right by Old Guy Pyramid Build, and it's pretty cheap, pretty close to the floor.
I tried to get Dana to buy that the other day. I sent it to her. I don't know how that happened. But Toxic, if Dana hasn't picked it up, maybe you can still. Because Toxic was also in that conversation. Oh yeah, I think it happened during book club last week.
Well, the floor this morning, last I checked, is $98. So it's sub 100 again. It was sub 100 like 2 weeks ago, and then it got back up to, I want to say like 120 or 130 floor price, and now it's back down again, probably with the price of ETH, but yeah, pretty appealing.
Yes, very appealing for voting power. I'm taking a look in the marketplace right now.
I think sometimes just having the land to, buy now, sell in the future, like I I don't know. I can't always justify why I get the land, except that it's like maybe I do want to have like a two-piece parcel, and having like land right next to another one. I don't know. To me, like there's so much of a draw to have two parcels of land compared to one. Like it just like frees you up so much with space. And I don't know if that'll change. Like, I mean, I think like the camera angle, how you can move around in one piece, and just definitely how you build on it makes a difference. But I definitely like two pieces if I can. Whoa, I just realized it's coming up to World Pizza Day, Bitcoin Pizza Day, sometime in like a month and a half. Is that right? May 22nd?
And I think Satoshi's birthday is sometime around now, or as well.
You mean Jack Dorsey's?
Is that who? Is that Satoshi?
Yeah, I think so. He just hasn't told me yet, but I think so.
A lot of people. There's some that have put out a convincing argument that it's the guy behind Chainlink. But I've seen other whatever you want to call it.
I think that's I think it's his name is Sergey or Sergi. One of the
Yes.
two.
Yeah, that guy.
I think he's too young to be Satoshi.
I don't know. I didn't check up on it. I figure if he is, he is. If he isn't, he isn't. If Satoshi wants us to know who Satoshi is, Satoshi will let us know.
Well, I think there's benefit of not of like staying anonymous. Like there's like pros and cons, but in a decentralized world, like just looking at our founders, like they stayed pretty hands off for a long time. And now they're getting more like, active a little bit here and there, like more owning it that they're the white paper authors and, contributors. But there is like magic in being decentralized where there's not like one entity that is responsible for it. So I don't know. Like I think Satoshi had to step away. Like he kind of realized, I mean, he or she, I'd like to think it's a she, but probably I voted on that one, but like there is a benefit to just stepping away. Plus the like legal implications of totally upending the financial system as we know it. Probably a good idea to step away.
It's totally V for Vendetta. You don't find out until the end.
Totally. And then it's Natalie Portman all along. She's like, got it, suckers. So this week, Fashion Week, 5 days away. If I did my math right, I've been making these like posters every day, and every day I got to check because one day, like the third day, I've messed it up, and I was like, dang it, I can't even make it. I can't even do a countdown. 30 days. So I think there's 5 days until Fashion Week, and some of us got to do our trial runway walk this week for the community art show, and it was pretty fun and like definitely got me excited for what's to come. Fashion Week is so fun.
I agree. I can't wait. Like I said, I called off of work for those days, so I am going to be there at Fashion Week.
Are there any wearables that you're like seeing or brands that you're like, I gotta have that, I gotta check it out?
I mean, personally, I'm just like all of it. I got to check all of it out. Not any brand specifics at this moment. Just excited to see our friends that are like posting like their like previews of their venue at Fashion Week. Like I think I saw Match uh post something. I think that's his name, Match Zimmerman.
Yeah.
I saw Match giving us a preview of his build.
I'm excited for somebody that I met at ETH Denver, got to go hang out with them, and it's Chipped Social. It's a nail designer, which I think it's awesome. But I'm also like, oh my gosh, CK is our nail designer, but CK is like slaying it like in Europe. Like they're doing it. So like they're living their best life. So I'm like, it's okay. Like there can be more than one, nail artist. So like Chipped Social and what Winnie, the young lady behind that, it's like a nail set, a press-on nail set that has a NFC chip in it. And CK, when they made my nails, they had an NFC chip that would bring you to like if you scanned the left side of my hand, it would be it would bring you to Decentraland, and then if you scanned the right side, it would bring you to my link tree. So it's a cool concept. But Chipped Social has this whole website, this whole or app behind it, and it kind of connects you, with other people. So it's really a neat way to like be social and connect with others. But um, Winnie Winnie was a fashion student like in school, and she had the idea for this, and her professor was like, that is the stupidest idea, that'll never make it. And she was like, okay, now I have to start a brand and a company just to prove you wrong. And so she did, and she's like killing it, and the nails look pretty cool. So somehow I haven't seen her wearables come through yet, so I'm not sure exactly how, but I do know that she's going to be there. So that'll be really cool and interesting to see another, nail artist come in, and really curious to see how that like plays out. Like there's so many ways you could do it with Decentraland, like cross like using data, crossing the data with what she's like the app she's got already existing. So that's, yeah, I don't know too many others, but that's who I'm excited to see. One exists. How about you?
I don't even know. Shoot, there was something I saw on Twitter that looked pretty interesting. It had a whole bunch of avatars or something, and somebody was running around them, and I forget what it was called. I'd have to go look, and probably won't be able to find it. I'm not able to keep up with it all. I'd wanted to be at the X Space Genie Park had on last Thursday, I think it was, but I woke up too late.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Like Ruston was on the panel. Bay was there. That was really
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
Talking.
Sorry. That just reminded me because I did catch just a little bit of Rustan's, and if anyone's in California in the LA area, he's got a art exhibit tonight in Torrance, I think it is. Shoot, I forgot about that. I'm gonna try to make it over there. So yeah, AI, and I forget what else he said, but he would love the support just from Web3 people if possible. So
Okay, I just dug up the link. Here it is. Up here, Saturday, 6 o'clock, the VIFA Gallery, Torrance, California. All right, who is in California? Oh, Brandon. Brandon, if you get on that dirt bike right now and start going, I bet you can make it there in, you know, 6 hours. Um, Gosh, yeah, we need to mobilize the California army. Brandon, thumbs down. Come on, buddy. It's driving through the desert. You can hit Vegas on the way. I know you could do it. I mean, I don't know distances or anything, but I'm manifesting it. All right, all right. I won't pressure you. So that is so cool that Ruston is doing that. It sounds like he's really doing a lot like between the IRL and like digital, like pushing the IRL way more. Um yeah, somehow he was talking about getting the normies involved. Like he's always trying to do that, like subtly get the blockchain tech in the hands of his art collectors, but without them like having to do it, without them knowing it, not like sneakily, but just making it really easy to collect without like advanced web3 knowledge of wallets and everything. Okay, Jared, what about you? Excited for any fashions that you've seen that you're excited for, or are you just kind of waiting for opening day?
I saw, not fashion, but I saw that experience that I want to say. I mean, I guess the DCL Prime tweeted it, but it was like, I think it was playing on the infinite possibilities idea, but like there's like little like mannequins for lack of a better word, but like you can like run through them and they will like become you, and so you can like fill the space, and then it's like everyone else can. I think that might have been what One Existence was also talking about when he saw the. But yeah, it just looks very like that looks fun. It's always nice to see new interesting things because as anyone, most of us here know, 'cause we've all played Decentraland and tried to build things or seen what others have struggled to do, it's hard to make. It can be difficult to make cool, awesome, things that live up to a AAA standard or whatever in DCLs at times. So it'll be fun to see these new experiences and just maybe get some ideas for that. And free wearables are always sweet. I love me a free wearable.
Yeah, that's cool. I have purposefully not gone to the fashion area. Like I want to experience it like for the first time when it's up and running. I don't know. Like I know peaking till Christmas.
I have taken the opposite approach, and like anytime I'm hanging out in Gen Plaza, or even now because it'll tell you when your friends log in. So if I see Kimbo logged in, Master Wayne logged in, I'm like, friend list, jump to. Oh, what are you doing? Start getting my peep and Tom glasses out, walls. What's Bay and Kim talking about? What
Yeah,
are we testing now?
that happened this week. Like Olavra was here, like Stuvame, like all of the everybody like from Foundation, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be the weirdo. I'm just gonna stay. Like I know my place. I'm gonna stay at Genesis Plaza, and I'll be weird at Genesis Plaza. I won't be weird other places. I'll just be like the creeper. But
No hesitation here. I will be the weirdo. Sign me up.
I used to chase Olavra now Olavra knows that. And so now I just try to stay calm, and yeah, it's not. I don't fangirl as much because I'm like, it's just Jesus. Like they call him Jesus because he kind of looks like Jesus, and so he's like the Jesus of Decentraland if we need one.
It's just Jesus. No
I think
biggie.
if you look up his account, I think he has like a picture of him as Jesus or something. Like, let's look this up right here. Olavra. Yeah, it's just Jesus. Come on.
But yeah, no. And looking in the audience, it feels like I have a lot of my neighbors in the New Vegas district who I can pitch this idea to. But I feel like I pitched it to Rustan. He seemed down for demolishing the Cove and doing a joint effort. He just said he had to wait till 2 weeks. His next patch of busyness passes before he'd be down for more further discussion on the topic. But I really love I really feel like we should try to present what a community could do to work together to make like a cool, cohesive section of Decentraland. Because I think even in the new Stars district, it still very much was just everyone just doing their own thing. You just happen to have some stateless ave to be building near, so it kind of felt like a city, or a community. But I feel like we could definitely do some brainstormings on theming. Maybe we're doing a village. Maybe it's city. Maybe it's Wild West. I don't know. We could discuss it. Obviously, I'm not trying to dictate how you use your land, but I think it'd be dope if because me, Rustan, and Old Guy are all conjoined. We're 3x3s, and then Brandon's right across the street. I know Sinful's in that area somewhere with some land, and then Manzier's to my right. He's I think he's one. There's a gap of parcels before he's there, but I know there's at least damn near 20 pieces of land, if not 30 or more, that we can get on board with some kind of show of what DCL could be. Because I don't know, every once in a while when I start thinking about the future of DCL, I bought my first single parcels in the last week, and they're some of them are sort of near roads, but there's at least one gap, and it's just technically someone could absolutely just come buy all of the parcels around me and just wall me off, and because you can only go 4 stories high on a 1x1, and if you bought all 8 parcels to box me in, you could definitely just make a tower where I'm just sadly inside. So I think it'd be nice to show people that you can also work together. That I can have my street access and leave a little road that leads to where Old Guy's barbecue is, and obviously he'll be the barbecue district, I imagine, in our little tiny town. But I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I see Brandon likes it. I saw he was hitting those emotes, so I appreciate a little support and love there. So that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. And also, everyone who doesn't own land has ever thought oh, I should get land, but it's so expensive. The OpenSea floor right now is $100 for a parcel. And honestly, you're at $98 right now for the floor. You can get it in New Vegas, negative 114, 108 is the current, the first one it was showing me. But it's just I don't know. I have such a hard time understanding because there's so many people who are all about buying land when it was thousands of dollars for hundreds if not thousands of dollars per parcel, and it's now that you can actually get it pretty affordably and play around, where's everybody? It's I don't know.
But
But
yeah,
I mean, that's
I
I
don't know.
think problems across NFTs is like people don't really actually ever care. No one ever cared about their NFT community. They just like price go up. That makes me feel something inside. So, but hopefully we can, communicate to find the 3D artists of the world and the like, metaverse hopefuls. Like, hey, like there truly has never been a better time to join Decentraland. Like the tech is as far along as it's ever been. The prices are damn near as low as they've ever been. I think that like when you minted, it was like $75 a parcel worth of mana, right, Canessa?
I didn't mint at the auction. I bought it after, and I don't even know. I mana. I
Fair enough, yeah.
it was. I think it was 110,000 mana that I spent for 9 parcels.
And mana was like a penny.
It was like 5 cents. I want to say it was 3 cents, but then I think it was like 5 cents, maybe four at the lowest. But then it went down. I can't remember if it went down, and like I just couldn't look at it anymore. I was like, "What did I do? This is the stupidest thing I've ever done." And I've done some, I've done some. I bought a lifted Jeep with like 35-inch tires, and like that. I've made some stupid decisions in life, and but this was like
Huh.
I spent 2 years thinking Digital Land was the worst thing I've done, and then, but luckily, like what it taught me is if you stay with your bad decision long enough, there's a small fractional chance it'll turn into a good decision. So I'm not saying that's how every project goes, but for this one, all of a sudden, I went from being like an idiot to like, wow, you're a early investor. Like,
Yeah.
no,
You're
I'm
a visionary, Canessa.
it.
You're not an idiot,
Yeah,
you're a visionary.
that's right. There's a fine line between visionaries and idiots. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah, it is paper thin. Absolutely. That's true. And
yeah.
and it's, don't worry, there is still time for us to all turn into idiots. But right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
visionary. But truly, I think that now is, and I mean, like I don't know, because it occurred to me like the last 2 days, like I've never felt the desire to like fill the Decentraland land or anything. But like I was just thinking about it, I've had fun making the one by one my bar. I've enjoyed that. And like publishing it, having like 8 people roll up and like hang out and party. Like going back to Genesis Plaza to see it on the like most populated places. I was like, ah, damn, look at that. The dopamine is real, man. You can definitely and I think in like as long as you're especially now that it is like $100 per parcel, like that is a very reasonable amount of money to like gamble on or just spend on it like a learning opportunity because like it very much gives you lots of opportunity to just learn about how all this works, all the all the struggles. Like $100, come on, like it's people are excited to spend thousands of dollars on these parcels, do nothing with them. Surely we can find some people like excited to spend $100 and like actually make something cool, have a fun spot.
Well, if you were going to buy a website domain from like WordPress or I don't know, is GoDaddy a website domain place anymore? But like if you were, I just refresh or like resubscribe to my WordPress domain and it was like $300 for a year. So if you're thinking about like I just need to secure my my little corner of the internet, like $300 for a website domain, nobody really would probably bat an eye. Like I mean maybe at the price, but like it's you everybody knows you got to have your website domain if you're going to have some kind of like blog. So your virtual world is just like that, but you're not paying 300 a year and then you have to like in 12 months I have to pay that again. Like this is $100 forever. You can like give it to your kiddos or your nieces and nephews like that. When you look at it like that, it's a way better investment. Like I don't know,
No,
maybe.
yeah, no, I think that is a fair analogy. And also it actually kind of makes me question. I'm like, wait, is Decentraland's business model sustainable? Like, if Google won't let you get that name for more than like $300 a year, like how much does that service cost? But yeah, no, I agree with you completely. Like for $100, you'll never have to pay again. You'll have to pay some ETH gas for a few things along the way if you decide to attach a name to it or give someone else builder rights. But also, I will say, like, I've been really pleasantly surprised with how very low, like the ETH I've had to pay, like when I attached my name to it, like it wasn't like even though it turned out that like assigning a name to the parcel didn't work as I expected, like the cost of ETH to do it was so low that I couldn't even bring myself to be like pretend to be mad about that. Be like, well, I had to spend ETH gas to do this, and now it doesn't work. And so, like, I was just like, oh, well, it was like $2. Like, I spent so much more money in ETH to like mint my True, for example. I spent like as much in gas as the True cost. So, like, it's I don't know the ETH. I don't know if it's just because there's no one else doing anything on it, or if like, people have optimized both on the ETH end and on DCL's end. But like currently, the ETH costs on the L1 side of things are very reasonable. So it's a great time to buy some names and then assign them to your parcel to find out disappointedly you can't link that in world chat.
Well, what would really be helpful, because like the difference between a WordPress domain and a Decentraland name obviously is like the WordPress domain, you're opening it up to the World Wide Web. Like that's a completely different search engine than, you know, Decentraland. So it would be really cool to have more like to like streamline the experiences in Decentraland, so that if you do have something on it, I don't know, there's not just like the Genesis Plaza, you know, most popular or places that people are at, having like a better index for discoverability, and not even POIs. I'm thinking like some other way for people to find your parcel, like that would be so useful. Not sure what that would look like. If it would be more of a search index, maybe even on the website, on Decentraland's website. Like you could scroll through there and have 100 character room for describing your place.
I will say I had noticed, but it's still kind of unintuitive since it's like new. But the map, there is a like oh wow, someone's bought a lot of land in the last several seconds. But there is a place in the map now that you can like type in searches for stuff and like kind of refine it. So it's like they have added a little bit of what you're kind of describing, but it is like it's unintuitive for any of us who have like gotten accustomed to the map and like have never really thought like, oh wait, what does this box over here on the right do? And you kind of like there is a section to do what you described. It just I think could use a an improved UX.
Yeah, totally. Because if you, yeah, like, and POI system, even if we revamp that, I don't think that's enough. Like, it's got to be something else. But I don't exactly know what it would be. Maybe to like think about like in the real world, if you were going to go to a new city, brand new city, never been there before, how would you find the cool shit to do? You know, you would look up like tourist attractions. So there'd be almost like or not tourists, but like anything, like where you go to a website and it'd show you like places to eat, like things to see, things to do, like, and then if you're an adventure person, it's like, okay, here's outdoor adventure things to do. And then if you're like, no, I want to go see museums, like, yeah, we should model it after something that like already works in the real world. And yeah, but I don't know. Would that live on a website, or would that live like in world? Or like bottom of Genesis Plaza, maybe, instead of, or like in Genesis Plaza in one of those other buildings. Because definitely we could revamp that. That hasn't been changed much in 4 to 5 years.
And I want to jump in because I saw Julianne's comment. She was asking, where are we talking about that a whole bunch of people have their land together? I'm not sure of which ones Jared was talking about, because he mentioned Rustan and like I was.
Old guy, yeah.
Yeah.
You know where Lobsteropolis is? We are like just south of Lobsteropolis.
Yeah, there's that, and then over by La Cantina, there's a whole bunch of us that have land all around La Cantina, uh, including myself and one exists. I think old guy has some land to the north of us, and crap, someone else has land.
Oh, there's Metariuk, One Exist, Fancy, Odd Job, Rishi,
Yeah,
Zom, Madamus. Yeah, there's a lot more
yeah,
quiet landowners.
we have a HOA over here going near the cantina.
We're not that far from the cantina in New Vegas Prime. That's that's what I've rebranded the section where Ruston and us are. But
Do we need to be preparing for war?
well, old guy's on both sides of the line, and old guy's the only person I know with cannons on his property. So I think hopefully we can find a peaceful resolution because it would be a shame to see old guy on old guy canon violence.
Let's
I,
just let's just say he may have be the only one with cannons on his property. Does not mean others don't have cannons available to
He's
put
the
on their
only
property.
one that has visible cannons. If I had weaponry, do you think I would let you see it? Or would it be like hidden? Totally hidden because I am like the first one he declared war with by putting a cannon that faced my lighthouse. I have the height advantage. I did introduce him to Fortnite, so we are both like officially we're well versed with hand to hand combat. Um, but there's a peace treaty. Everything's fine. Old guy and I, we have no beef. The only beef we have is on the grill, getting toasted. Well done.
Ew, medium rare.
You.
ew. I'm more of a medium kind of guy.
I like a little moo yet, just a little moo,
Who wanted to still moo a little bit.
just a little bit.
In that case, do you enjoy it when like the meat is branded with like the cow's name, like on top? There's like a stamp of like Betsy. You're eating Betsy.
Yes, I like to savor the name as it goes down my gullet.
I'll eat the beef.
I don't think I've ever seen that. that that might be a little too much.
Oh, then that might actually be a pretty good business idea for like a steakhouse. Like, every steak you eat will come with the cow's name, and we just have a whole bunch of brands with different names, and we set up contracts with different meat farmer people that grow the cows from the plant from the ground up.
Will they
And
be smart contracts?
yes, yes. Well, all the cows, like as they're like growing and stuff, like each cow will have an NFC chip within their ear, and you could track them. And
Will those come with an NFT of the cow?
of course, how else do you think you'll have access to the website to track the cow, see if it's
Make it
eating?
make it an NFC, non fungible cow.
You see what? Wow, we're just throwing out $1 million ideas out here today. I hope one of you is writing these ideas down. And when you have a big corporation of named Cow Steakhouse, I would like to be a board member.
I think I'm gonna put on my bucket list like eating old guy barbecue, but not just regular barbecue. Like I need Argentinian beef cooked by old guy. That's now on my bucket list.
That's gonna get expensive.
The activity, sorry, not to interrupt and to derail, but I went to the OpenSea page and I'm just looking at activities like, oh, what are recent sales? Someone is using GCL land to like launder money or tax it. I don't know, but like I want your land is the name of an account, and then there's an EE01 account. And these two people have been selling land in the from section, and there's no one in the two. There's like a bug, so you can't even see who it's going to. But for literal hours, every second, like I'm assuming there's bots set up to do this, but like every second, there's just like they're accepting these WEATH offers on their land. And I'm just like baffled and I don't understand what's happening, but like every second, like every second, it's fucking weird. I don't understand what is happening. I it just I have to assume a crime. I don't. It just doesn't. It's in fact maybe they're trying to farm experience points for OpenSea 2, but when you look on their accounts, they don't have any experience points. So if they're trying, they're doing a very bad job. At least I want your land is. Um, Maybe EE01 has more land going. I don't know. It's very weird. I'm very confused, and it's just super interesting. Because this wasn't happening last night when I like went to look at activity to be like, oh look, Billy T Coin just bought a parcel like that we were talking about. I don't know, it's very weird. But
They're
anyway,
listening, and they got excited about what we were talking about. Or maybe it's just AI, and like it picked up our chatter. It's like, okay, the NFT people want digital land. Here we go.
the
But
other
that
well, the
I
other
want your
reason
land. They do buy and sell a lot. I think I bought from them. Maybe.
well, maybe, but the other reason I think it's super sus is that all of the WETH offers they're accepting are 044 WETH, whereas the top offer, like if you were to just go on to OpenSea to like accept it, like the WETH offer is like 045. So they're also like not taking the highest available bid to them. They're like undercutting it by just the minimum. And this is I don't get it. It's weird, and I'm just confused because
Yeah, that I saw that happen too with pudgy penguins. So when I was looking at a penguin, it was like it would be bought and sold under the floor price to names that were like they were like kind of mildly like suggestive and inappropriate. So I was like, okay, like if well, I can't say it here because keep it family friendly. But like if all these people are buying and selling to other names that are like obviously connected, they didn't want it sold. I don't know. It was weird because then it was listed for way higher, but they kept buying and selling for way lower. Um, and I don't know if it's to pump volume also to make it like somebody could easily be doing that just to pump volume, and all of a sudden Decentraland is trending because look at how much is being bought and sold. Um, I don't know. There's something else going on because I think a lot of the blue chip NFTs, if you look at the buys and sells on that, like there's something else going on that this simple mind doesn't understand. What it's not like a regular marketplace.
yeah, I guess that also makes some sense for sure. The potential that someone's just trying to inflate the volume so that it appears on the trending. That makes sense. But
I
yeah, I don't know.
think
It's just
for
super
blue
weird.
Yeah, like I think for blue chip NFTs definitely is because if you start comparing, like if you start looking at like Bored Apes, Pudgy Penguins, and then like compare it with smaller, like I would say smaller projects like a Kid Called Beast, just look at the amount of ETH that has been spent on like the entire project. I would bet definitely that there's people that just want to be like, yeah, we're in the top 10 of ETH ever spent, on this project. Um, but super easy to farm that and manipulate it. But I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
either way, you shouldn't let this weird sketchiness stop you from investing into Decentraland. But that was honestly the main reason I was like, I think so concerned and consumed by it is I'm just like, what is the sketchiness? Because like I I was compelled to like tweet about how people should look into buying ETH or DCL land for the first time in my life, in my time in Decentraland. But like when you go to look at activity, it's just super sus and super sketchy. I'm like, I don't want to recommend someone to get involved in a money laundering scheme. But with the exception of this weirdness, it's still, I think, unarguably the best time in since DCL went live to buy land. The land's as cheap as it's ever been. The tech is as advanced as it's ever is as been, and they're still making it better. So, and I'm gonna keep buying if the price keeps going down. Like if land hits $10, I'm buying more. I'm gonna buy it all.
Well, I mean, I try not to like gaslight myself, but I'm like in my head, I'm like, all it takes is one announcement. Maybe like I don't think we'll ever have the meta announcement. Like that was like craziness. But like Disney spent what was it, $4 billion to acquire part of Epic Games. Like they're creating the Disney Epic metaverse. Like Trump just filed for like the copyright for the Trump metaverse. Like I don't think we'll ever have like the crazy metaverse narrative again, but like digital worlds and like more experiences online, like that's not going anywhere. That's so yeah, I don't know. I think that there'll be something in the future that brings people, that gets people curious again about it. But I think right now we have to create cool shit so that, like, let's say we did have that happen. They come into Decentraland, they look around, they go to a few events, but we we just don't have what we used to have to keep people. engaged and wanting to like jonesing to come back in, like because they didn't get to finish the experience that they started the last time they were here. Like we don't have that.
Well, and that's
That's a
why
per-
I wanted to. I want to make wearables in like a clothing store for like new users to go and just like grab a couple of free wearables. I feel like I want to know like is there a way we can take like 'cause the marketplace has lots of free wearables. Would it be how hard is it to like display those in worlds so that like new users can come and be like, oh, I want to go to the noob store and like so then I don't even have to publish wearables. I can just take the Doki Sparkle that there's like 90,000 left of and the all the other sweet free wearables that are on the marketplace that it's like new people don't know to think of to go look for there, but if you had it in world it'd be much easier and organically for them to stumble on it.
that was a perfect segue, if I may. Oh, go ahead, Canessa.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Oh, into it's talking about ways to reach new people and such. Uh, my virtual destinations that old guy and I were doing on X Space, I'm actually taking it now to a podcast with a couple of people I have met in the space. And they were doing podcasts with for Vivi. If anybody's familiar with that, it's a collectible things they do. They have the licenses with Marvel and DC and Disney, some big brand names to sell these collectibles, which they actually also opened up a metaverse of sorts of their own to display their collectibles. But a lot of them aren't overly Web3 savvy. Um, but they asked me if I would like to do a segment on Tuesdays of their Future Watch episode, which is to educate people on Web3 because they themselves are relatively new too. So that's what their audience is people that may not be familiar with the metaverse. But I am taking that there on Tuesdays to do a little segment, and I'll be doing a tour of the different platforms that are available. Um, Starting with Second Life this Tuesday, and then be to get it in before the Easter egg hunt. Of course, I'll be doing Decentraland the following week. So, uh huh. That's it.
Sorry for the silence. I was
That's okay.
responding to Juliet. I was in comments, and then I was like, "Oh no, hit back," and then it was like, "Delete." No, I don't want to
Oh,
delete. I
I
want to
I know
finish
how
watching.
that goes. Yeah.
I think Vivi is like Vivi. We should all be into like Vivi. I mean, I'm that that's like such a gateway. Maybe because like my one person in the real world that like has bought ETH and got into NFTs. He was just like all about Vivi. So maybe in my brain, I'm like, that's where the normies go because it's very attainable, like very like if you're a Marvel fan and you have a you got your Funko Pop collection and you or Star Wars and you got your Star Wars lightsaber hanging on the wall, like to get some kind of digital collectible is not that much of a reach. And so to have like a digital collectible that is like an NFT, they don't even have to understand it, but they're like, yeah, I want that digital collectible. That's such a difference than like people that are starting to collect, Dojo Kids or Kid Called Beast, like where it's new IP, totally new, sometimes different chains you have to buy it on. Like Vivi is maybe that's like the wacky weed, like the gateway drug for a lot of normies. And so like I don't know, even though I've never felt like I need to go get NFT. Well, I did feel like I needed to go get some Disney IP NFTs because they had some cool ones. But other than that, like I just think that that's that's like the gateway. And then they see our PFPs and like all of our PFPs except for Sin, he's still wearing the Christmas hat from like 3 years ago. But like, you know, Pudgies, Kid Called Beast, Dojo Kids, like those are all Web3 IP that we'd have to like introduce them to. Pudgies are a little bit different. They were at Walmart, so
You make fun of me, but when Christmas comes around again and
I
I'm
know you're
all
ready.
prepared and I don't have
You're
to
ready.
TFT and lose my check mark, you'll
Shit. Shit, you're right.
I'm trying to remember the stat, but I know that a kid called Beats, I believe, has the second most Instagram followers of any NFT community after Pudgy Penguins. I believe was the stat. I believe that was maybe it was TikTok. I know that they're grinding the socials just like your Pudgies.
Yeah. That's why, yeah, like to me, like I am such a hard sell. Like in order to get your project, you need to make a cheap plastic toy and I'm in. So like anybody that makes some plastic toy, I'm like, "Oh, that's where I belong." So yeah. But I hope I want to do a project that has like the Pudgy and the Kid Called Beast in it together, and like I don't know, kind of try to like bridge those two communities somehow, and then maybe V Friends. Like the V Friends, there's like V Friends 2, and I think they're like $120, so they're not like the real V Friends that are 5 ETH. Um, but I need to buy one of those. But then I'm like,
That's a
no.
cult. That's a cult.
But do you ever listen to what Gary's saying? Like that guy's got some facts. He's smart. Is there something I should know? Like why it's
I
not?
know.
I mean,
That's what I call it. I see it on there all the time. And there's a guy I know by the name of Tricky Buddha, um, and the DeFi Space Donkeys. He's always in there. He he's always in there, and probably another space, and then a space that I'm in almost every day as well. And we give him crap about that. But so I joke about it being because he keeps telling people to come in and blah blah blah. Said sounds like a cult.
I know, but technically
I
we've
just
also
joke.
said like we're not calling this a cult anymore. So, I think or a
Yeah,
support group.
I'm sure I'm part of many cults.
We should ask Chat GPT, are we by definition a cult? Like we don't worship well, I mean I'm not worshiping Decentraland yet. I have gotten it tattooed on my body. That might be like close, but at what point does a community become a cult? How's that?
I brought the Order of the Poopa into the Decentraland, so
I think once the weird shit starts happening, like I don't know
did you not hear what I just said?
if
I'm sorry if that's not weird enough. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt though. Continue.
I think I lost my train of thought either way. You can go.
I'm sorry. No, I was just saying. Uh, you said weird, and I said I had just said I brought in the Order of the Poopa into Decentraland, and if that's not weird enough,
Does
Nope, it's
old
not.
guy own the land his pyramids are on, or is he like borrowing that from someone else?
I think he owns it.
Okay, because I thought he owned it, but I was like, there's a small chance that like he's borrowing Sinful's land. Like, oh, Sinful's this L. I've heard about new scenes 19. Sinful, you gotta remember to update the scene file names on your builds before you push them. Just friendly little tip I've learned. At least I see, yeah, because it's 1, 2, 3,
I
4. That's you.
have no clue what you're talking about because mine says Mew Estate.
Oh, you're not this. Who owns negative 142, negative, in 90, like in the 91, 90? I don't know. It's real close to the cantina. It's somebody here. Somebody on this phone call has to own that.
Uh, is it bordering the Giving Tree, or is it north?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't exactly know where the Giving Tree is.
It's the
It
tree
is.
behind La
Oh
Cantina.
no! It's south. It's like it's in line with the southern border of the cantina. So like you're at like negative 5091, it reaches like negative 42 to like negative 14091.
Well, on the coast, it's me, or it's above me is Meteoriuk, then La Cantina, Then there's a little few parcels that are not owned. They were bought and sold back in the fall, but I don't think they're owned by anyone. And then there's Zom, and then Madamus, and then Risk. Risk owns a lot of the southern, like the most southern on the border, like not most southern, but just in our little region.
Doesn't Risk have enough land to play with? Being, the District X is, he's done okay.
Well, if
I hate
anybody
District X so much, but I can't bring myself to hate his builds. They're very
if
lovely.
anybody wants to, like Julian, you're asking where the land is. If anybody has ideas for and they want to build on land, let me know, because there's, like that was why I bought it, so I could let other people use it. And I love building on mine, but I can't build, it takes time to build on everything. So hit me up if you think you would use the land around that area.
Also, though,
And
you can get pretty close to where you're still, you'll still be like 10 parcels away at least, but you can get pretty close to that area, that section of stuff. If if you just go to the floor, scoop it up.
well, and I think the more that people buy, like back when old guy got the first parcels by the pyramid, it felt like a long ways away, but now it feels right there. Like I think the more that people that are active builders buy, the more it's like it kind of, yeah, it feels like feels closer.
Yeah, that's also true, and also that helps. Like if you're, like when you buy an estate and you can make tall ass pyramids and you have your huge lighthouse, that makes the distance feel like shorter. And it's also really it isn't because like what each parcel is 16 meters long, so like none of these are. It's not, none of these are. It's not even a mile. Wouldn't even be a 2-minute run IRL. So there is this little like random off like commute like right above where the pyramids are. There's like the art gallery. There's like there is like someone's made like a nice little community kind of thing almost.
Yeah, and that's old, right? It's been there a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's definitely
Yeah.
I. It's hard to for the longest time the Vegas district was just a big blue square on my map because that was how it defaulted, and I don't even know if you could change it to being for the first like 2 years of my existence in DCL. So you didn't get to properly appreciate the nuances of Vegas district until fairly recently. I'm still waiting. I want someone to sell me a piece of the back riverboat. I can't bring myself to blow up Diamond Hand City, but I could bring myself to blow up that riverboat. So if anyone sees any negative 108, 118 adjacent spots, let me know.
So is that how you're shopping for land now? So like buying pieces of builds so you can destroy it?
No, but I mean, it's I know, no, and that's not. I mean, I bought the piece I have that's part of Diamond Hand City because I was just like looking for things near the road, and because it's the half of it, most the map is very picky choosy which SDK6 builds actually like manifest and are seeable on the map. So like you're like I saw the Diamond Hand City like star, but I hadn't really put two and two together to be like, oh right, that has to be where the foyer of Diamond Hand City is that I'm purchasing. Um, so usually I'm just looking for roads, even though technically all the Vegas City roads are like not guaranteed to be there forever. Technically, James A could totally screw me and Rustan and Lobsteropolis over and get rid of our sweet road and just sell that to someone. But I don't think James A will do that. He's been here this long. He'll let us keep our roads. I also think I asked him at one point, and he did say he had no plans on, sabotaging our roads.
Well, on that note, I have to jump off the call. It is almost 11 o'clock checkout time, and I don't want them to like kick me out of another hotel. It's been a rough month for that. So I will leave this space, Sinful, in your able hands.
Lol. Well, I mean, I think it's a good time to close down. We're almost at 2 hours here. Uh, and yeah, so perhaps final thoughts, Canessa. You want to go first so that you can jump?
Yeah, just have a good week, everybody. See y'all at Fashion Week. If anybody looks like probably two new friends, or like nobody's too new that they don't understand Fashion Week. But if anybody is like, whoa, what is that? Hit us up, let us know. And otherwise, we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Kanessa. And yeah, don't get kicked out of your hotel room. uh, we'll we'll see you this week at Fashion Week. Pass it over to Jared.
Buy some land. It's super cheap. $100. You've probably paid more for than that for wearables. For if you ever played any other game in your life and spent money in it, you spent more than that and you never got it back. Buy some land. Uh, yeah, just buy it. It's fun. It's nice. It's very satisfying to like push a build, fight with the builder, and make something actually cool. But feel like, oh, this is nice. It feels good. Best $100 you'll ever spend.
You're right. You're right. And one exists. Final thoughts.
If you need any help with the Easter egg hunt, get with me and or Lostrum. We're in the CBD Discord a bit in the voice chats, just messing around, or message us. And what? Tomorrow is Fashion Week starts tomorrow, right?
No, so
No, it's the ninth. All DCL events that are called a week are not actually take place over the course of the week. They all take place like Wednesday through Saturday, or
So what's the official day it starts? I thought it was 9th through the 12th.
it starts on the ninth. Tomorrow's the 6th.
Oh, I'm looking at March. I didn't change that calendar. Okay, that makes sense now. Ha! Thank you.
yep. And one exists. What's the status with Dave? Are we having Beyond the NFT this week or not?
It should be. I told him. I will tell him again.
Would be okay. Well,
I will
I guess
drag him. I'll drag him in.
I guess just to like get that ball rolling, get us in a like Discord group chat or something.
Will do.
You got to drag
Thank,
him away from the dumpster.
thank you. Uh, and yeah, so thanks to everyone that pulled up today. It's been an awesome conversation for the last 2 hours. I really like Jared's idea and like wanting to push the initiative to kind of like cohesively build our land together as a group, as like neighbors, and as well as even the wearable idea. That I don't know if you spoke about it on the space today, but I did see a like you were posting in the CBD chat as well as like I thought you made a X post or maybe a Canny request uh, about like having just a easier way to, well, for one, having community wearables that we could each have on our lands, and then finding ways to apply them to our builds. Good ideas, Jared. And one exists. Looking forward to seeing how this egg hunt develops. I should have my build, or at least the one I made the other day, like close to done. I need to make a sign for it. Um, and yeah, just put in some final touches, really. And yeah, so
Perfect.
we'll thank you everyone. We'll be back here next Saturday at noon Eastern for another community building Decentraland space. Next week's episode might be a little shorter due to Fashion Week being among us. And I believe like the first event on Saturday starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. So we might be here for a shorter time. So yeah, thank you everyone. Take care, and we'll see you back here next week. Bye.